there, Tundra Nation, and welcome back to the channel. Today on Tundra Tactical, we're going full speed on the crazy train as we check out the 5 most insane pistols and watch them in action. So sit back, get ready to share your barrel length in the comments, and let's start the show.
Jack me off, I'm finished. Get me out of here.
Jack me out.
Whatever, I'm done.
The Smith Wesson Model 500 revolver is the most powerful mass-produced 5-shot revolver in the entire world and is often featured by one of our favorite gun tubers, Kentucky Ballistics. A favorite of guys who like to stick their thumb in things, the Smith & Wesson 500 is also the preferred revolver of men who enjoy the thrill of accidental double fires and testing the flexibility of their girlfriend's wrist joints. This magnum of all magnums occupies a niche in the firearms world known as the hunting handgun. It's marketed to the man who enjoys the adventure of big game hunting but needs to keep one hand free to hold his cocktail. I mean, just because you're roughing it on the safari doesn't mean you have to sacrifice those creature comforts, am I right?
Hey, careful, man. There's a beverage here, huh?
Now, as most of you guys know, I'm not much of a hunter because I know where my local grocery store is and I have a debit card. But I get how prowling the grasslands of Africa, painstakingly stalking a rhino or a Cape buffalo can be exciting. You Smith & Wesson 500 owners demand the extra challenge of being within 40 feet of the most dangerous game on the face of the planet when you take that shot. I sure hope you've mastered the quick draw, bud. Otherwise, you've got problems.
Danger's my middle name.
All right, let's get real here. The 2 reasons to own this quintet lead slinger are to yell Pestis Incendium, Hermione Granger style, as rings of fire leap from the muzzle. First of all, congrats on breaking out your Harry Potter cosplay. And secondly, your belief is that if your spouse shoots this thing, she's never gonna come out to the range with you again. Joke's on you, bud. She's a better shooter than both you and all the boys. Now, it would be a mistake not to acknowledge the fact that the Smith & Wesson 500 is pretty impressive, but all that clean cordite smell leaves me wanting something a little bit more smoky, I think. Now, Ryszard Tobys of Poland looked at the first entry on our list and said, "Hold my beer," when he decided to build the Jolly Green Giant-sized model of the Remington Model 1859 revolver.
It's so big.
Ryszard's version functions like the original, using a cap and ball with black powder to fire 6 136-gram lead balls. Wait a second, grams? We don't use metric here. If you guys are wondering, 136 grams is actually about 5 ounces for those living in countries that have won 2 world wars and put a man on the moon.
And now, as a true American, I said the imperial system's better. Anyone who says otherwise is a freak.
This revolver is so big that it's almost impossible to hold up and fire, weighing in at 99 pounds and almost 4 feet in length. It currently holds the Guinness World Record as the world's most enormous working revolver, and honestly, I'm actually excited that this revolver exists. But can somebody tell me how Poland beat us in building the most massive Old West revolver in existence? I mean, the West is here, right?
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Holy cow, I was holding that sneeze in the whole time. If you thought the 500 Smith & Wesson was crazy, strap yourself in because we're turning the insanity knob up to 11 with our most insane pistol yet, the Pfeiffer Zeliska chambered in 600 Nitro Express. This 22-inch long pistol weighs in at a whopping 6 kilograms. God bless it, they made me do it again. What I meant to say is this thing weighs in at almost 13 pounds American, or 2 bald eagles if you measure things in freedom tonnage. The Pfeiffer Zeliska was custom designed for a Swiss hunter, and when asked how much this hunter wanted for stopping power, he simply replied with yes. This pistol is about as Gucci as it gets. How Gucci, you might ask? Well, the gold-plated hammer and trigger comes standard, adding to the Pfeiffer Zeliska's price tag of just over, wow, $17,000. Even better, each round can be had for the low price of $99.95 US, or in 3 easy payments of $33.33. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Operators are standing by, or however the internet works.
Here's the question on all of our minds right now. Did you guys really need to tack on that extra 95 cents? Couldn't you just round up to an even 100? I mean, if you want to shoot something with this pistol, you're definitely going to want to make sure that whatever you're shooting is keenly aware you want it dead and don't care what it costs.
Well, he's certainly dead now.
Also, if you haven't had enough traumatic brain injuries in your life, the Pfeiffer Zeliska can fix that. The 600 Nitro Express has been known to concuss shooters who are not wearing proper ear protection. There are only a handful of these pistols in the world, so of course, all the footage we have of them being shot comes from what looks like the Alabama of Eastern Europe. Yes, rednecks are going to be rednecks no matter where in the world they are. God bless them. If you like redneck engineering and a lackluster application of basic safety, make sure to hit that like button. If we get 6,000 likes, I'm going to do the next video after my 3-year-old hits me with their best makeup skills. Heck, it'll probably improve everything anyways. Something we should all know is that bringing a handgun to a tank fight is usually a recipe for a pretty bad time, but one enterprising company called Triple Action LLC asked, what if we could make it so the pistol won? Enter the Thunder 50 BMG. The Thunder is so massive, it requires a breech block similar to a recoilless rifle or an artillery piece, and it includes a massive compensator and iron sights in what I will generously call a nod to optimism for anything that will help the shooter accurately manage this hand cannon. This literal boomstick feels like a bunch of disgruntled Keltec engineers went out on a spirit journey in the Vegas desert after getting medicated by their friendly local unlicensed pharmacist and dreamt up this one-handed artillery piece.
Get in.
The Thunder 50 BMG's aesthetics are straight out of a Flash Gordon comic, which are the same standards the designers had for the firearm's practicality. Ergonomics, ease of use, and weight savings were tossed aside when manufacturing this high-tech wrist breaker. And as a bonus, multiple firings of the Thunder 50 will erase all the training that you had to stop flinching, because there's no way to shoot this thing multiple times without triggering a complete PTSD response from your entire body. I'm also adding in an honorable mention here for Serbu's 50 BMG pistol, which has absolutely no illusions about being tactical or practical. Clearly, its designers have the same amateur pharmacist on speed dial as the Thunder 50's creator.
Fire in the hole!
Participation time, folks. Which of these insane pistols would you most like to test your grip strength on at the range? Make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Our last pistol is the was created by my favorite US military branch, the United States Air Force. In the Air Force, our motto was aim high, but the Military Arms channel clearly shows why this pistol, known as the Bushmaster arm pistol, was a bit of a low mark. How did such a weird pistol come to be? Well, our tale begins at the USAF Armament Laboratory at Eglin Air Force Base in 1968. The Vietnam War dominated the headlines, while the race to the moon drove unprecedented advances in technology, and the United States Air Force contracted with Colt to produce a radical new aircrew survival gun called the Individual Multi-Purpose Weapon, or the IMP 221.
Dwarf.
You should have stopped at Imp.
Sadly, the Imp 221 could not meet the Air Force's lofty expectations, and its future looked grim until a former Special Forces soldier, Matt Gwynn Jr., came to the rescue. He optimized the design for civilian sales and hawked it as the Bushmaster arm pistol, or the BAP. Oh man, could you imagine getting BAP'd? That would be embarrassing. This Master Blaster remained in production, surprisingly, from 1977 all the way until 1988. The BAP did have its flaws, like the awkward and unstable maneuver required to access the sights. And with that said, the best thing about the M221 sights is that they technically existed.
Notice though that the rear sight's cocked over with the front sight. Now this is very imprecise and the sights are utterly worthless.
Users reported it ran great from the hip, and that right there, folks, ends the list of positives. The short barrel generated a deafening noise, and the bolt assembly had to be manually cycled with each reload. The Bushmaster arm pistol, well, it may be a mere footnote in firearms history, but if you think about it, it also may have paved the way for some of the truly innovative designs, such as the FNP90 and everybody's favorite unicorn gun, the HK MP7. If you're enjoying this insane pistol adventure, make sure to smash that thumbs up button. Remember 6K Makeup Fest. If you don't enjoy it, make sure to let us know your favorite vegetarian recipe down in the comments below. And don't forget to join us next time when we still don't know what the heck we're doing. Bye-bye.